Hello boys and girls, welcome to St Margaret's Church. Come on inside. Boys and girls, you will all be back at school now, you'll be settling in and it will soon be the Easter holidays. And usually at this time I'll be coming to visit you at school or you'll be coming up to visit me in the church. So I thought I would record this message to you for Easter. Now there's a competition in the Church of Scotland which you may have heard about, and it was about looking and taking a photograph of crosses that you find outside in ordinary places, and not proper crosses, just anything that's cross-shaped. Now you might have heard about that competition. Anyway, I'd like you to have a look in the church with me and see what crosses that we can find together. So if you look over here, you can see this very colourful cross. And this cross was actually made by the people, the church family of this church at Easter time a few years ago. And what it was we had a lot of different kinds of broken tiles of different colours, just little pieces and big pieces. And all the church family chose a piece of tile and put it on the cross. And then one of the members of the church, Sandra, she's an artist, she took it home and managed to put all the pieces on together to make this beautiful cross of broken tiles. And you know, it's just a lovely cross because it reminds us that everything can be turned into something beautiful, even the broken things in life and the parts of ourselves that we think are not as good as other parts. Everything can be used and made into something beautiful. So we like that cross here in St Margaret's, and there's another one across here. I'd like you to go across this way and you'll see this cross on the wall here. I'm going to close the door because it's quite noisy. Now this cross here is colourful too, and I don't know if you can guess what it's made of. It's something quite unusual actually. The patterns, the circular and the square patterns, believe it or not, they're all used tea bags. So these circle shapes have been tea bags, and the square shapes that were dried out, and then members of the church family painted them, and we made them into this cross at an Easter time a few years ago as well. So we have a cross made of broken tiles and a cross made of old tea bags. And of course, there's something lovely about that too, isn't it? That's something you would throw away. What would you do with an old tea bag? You'd probably recycle it in your recycling bin. But something that would have been thrown away or recycled has been reused to make a beautiful cross. And of course the cross is the symbol that's very central to the Christian church and very central to this time of year at Easter. So if you follow me, I'm going to take you into the sanctuary and I'm going to see if you can find any more crosses. In fact, there's one over here that you've missed. Of course, there's this one here, and that's the banner for St Margaret's Church that has a very colourful cross on it. And I want you to look for that cross when we go into the sanctuary. This is just the banner, but there's a big cross shape like that in the sanctuary. But before we go there, see if you can find another one over here, smaller cross. And that cross is one that we usually give out on Palm Sunday, and it's made of palm leaves from a palm tree. And it's to remind us of the story of Palm Sunday when people threw palm leaves down as Jesus arrived in Jerusalem on a donkey. And so every year we have crosses made of palm leaves. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 crosses we've found already. See if we can find some more. as we go into the sanctuary. Now the chairs are all a little bit different in the sanctuary because we have to social distance, so you'll be able to see that in a moment. But here we are, so keep your eyes open, see if you can see any other crosses. And possibly you see the one up in the back there on the stage, on the back wall. That's another lovely cross. I particularly like that cross because when I'm up at the front and I look at this one at the back, it often has a shadow, like you can see there's one cross and then the shadow of the one behind it. And sometimes from the front, it can look like 3 crosses. So let's go further on. There's another one I want to show you. And it's the one that was on the banner, and I want to see if you can find it anywhere in this church. If you scan the wall here, you're going to find a whole load of other crosses in a Celtic patterns on them, and they're crosses to represent faith and hope and love. And they've got doves on them, representing the dove of peace. And here we go. So let's go up here onto the chancel and see if you can find the one I asked you to look for. I'm imagining you can see it now. And that cross is a rather beautiful cross. It's made of stained glass, and the sunlight comes in through it and shines when the sun's coming in this direction. We've also got a light that we can put on in the evening so that we can light up that cross. It's a very lovely cross. It was given to the church on the church's 25th birthday in 1979 by the Glenrothes Development Corporation. And if you look very closely, you can see all the colours, all the bright, beautiful colours. And if you look really closely, up near the top, to the left-hand side, you can see the signature of the person who made it in the form of a bee. So there's a bumblebee just up on the left-hand part of the cross. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from there. Perhaps you can't. Next time you visit the church, I'll be able to show that to you. So there we are. We've looked and we've found many, many crosses in St Margaret's Church. So there's just one more thing I'd like to show you. Something that I made for you earlier. So I've made a little Easter tableau so that I could tell you the Easter story. It's a story that you already know, I'm sure. And if you look closely, you can see the scene ahead. You can see that there's a cave. And it actually is something I also use for a nativity set, because that's all about the birth of Jesus. But this part of the story is about when Jesus is older, when he's in his 30s, 33, and his message is not very popular with the people that he's talking to. And the religious leaders of the time don't like his message, and they reject him. And the Roman soldiers who are in charge of that country decide that they'll listen to the religious leaders, and Jesus has to be put to death. So he's put to death on a cross. You can see the cross on the hill outside of the city wall. And this was on the Good Friday, as we remember on Good Friday, that Jesus was killed by the Roman soldiers. And then on the Sunday, Easter Sunday, which is why we celebrate Easter, when the two women came to the tomb to anoint Jesus' body with spices, when they look, they see that the big stone that had been front of the entrance of the cave has been rolled away, and they don't know where Jesus' body is. But on top of the stone there's an angel, and the angel's a messenger from heaven, and the angel tells them not to be afraid, that Jesus is no longer there, that he has risen. And that's the wonderful message of Easter Sunday. It's all about resurrection, and it's all about hope, and it's all about a new beginning and a new start. And that's why we roll our Easter eggs at Easter time, to remember the stone that was rolled away. So the story of Easter you can find in the Bible, and this story is in the Gospel of Luke in chapter 24, and it talks about the women going to anoint Jesus' body on Easter Sunday. So it's a wonderful, hopeful, joyful message, and I hope you all have a wonderful, joyful Easter day, and that you enjoy your Easter holidays, and I'm looking forward to being able to seeing you sometime in the future, hopefully in the near future. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.